आज 14 जून वर्ल्ड डोनर्स डे भी है। साथ ही साथ इट इज़ प्रिविलेज कि आज हम लेट मिस पायल वाधवा का बर्थडे भी है, जो हमारे लिए इंस्पिरेशन रही है, और जिनके वजह से हम वाईटीए शुरुआत कर पाए हैं। जिनका ड्रीम था एक्चुअली वाईटीए जैसा एक प्लेटफॉर्म हो, जहाँ पे हम सब थैलेसेमिक्स को अपने साथ लेके चले, और साथ ही साथ एक दूसरे की मदद कर सके जितने अच्छे से हम कर पाएँ। सो कोशिश यही रहती है हर बार कि हर बच्चे को, हर इंसान को हम मदद कर पाएँ अपने बेस्ट पॉसिबल तरीके से। चाहे वो हम अपने आजकल टेक्नोलॉजी का सहारा लेके हम करते हैं, जहाँ पे हम बेसिकली व्हाट्सएप और अब ये ज़ूम के थ्रू, हमें याद है जब हमने 10 साल पहले वाईटीए चालू किया था, तो हर 3 महीने में एक-एक वर्कशॉप कॉन्फ्रेंसेस करते थे, हर जगह पे बच्चों को कलेक्ट करके, सिर्फ़ बच्चों के लिए, जहाँ पे ना हम पेरेंट्स को बुलाते थे, और डॉक्टर्स की सिर्फ़ बैक एंड पे सपोर्ट होती थी, फ्रंट्स पे डॉक्टर को नहीं रखते थे, जिससे कि बच्चे और खुल के बोल पाएँ, बात कर पाएँ और अपने मन की बात हमसे शेयर कर पाएँ। जहाँ पे उनमें हिचकिचाहट होती थी, उस हिचकिचाहट को हटाने की कोशिश करी गई है, और वाईटीए के माध्यम से आज भी हमारी ये कोशिश होती है कि हम सिर्फ एक मेट्रो और बड़े शहरों में नहीं, एक छोटे से छोटे कस्बे तक पहुँचे, और वहाँ के बच्चों को, वहाँ के पेरेंट्स, एनजीओज़ को प्रोत्साहन करें, उनको एक मार्गदर्शन दिखाने की कोशिश रहती है कि हम थैलेसीमिया के लिए क्या-क्या कर सकते हैं और कैसे कर सकते हैं। थैलेसीमिया को यहाँ तक लाने में हम गिने-चुने ही लोगों का नहीं, बट पीछे एक काफ़ी सारे लोगों, पूरी एक टीम का हाथ है। कई जुड़ते रहे, कई जुड़ते जा रहे हैं, कई जुड़े हुए हैं, ठीक है? और आज हम यहाँ पे इस मुकाम पे हैं कि आज हम ये टेक्नोलॉजी के थ्रू पूरी दुनिया में वर्ल्ड वाइड से हमारे साथ डॉक्टर्स, पेशेंट्स, पेरेंट्स सब जुड़े हुए हैं यहाँ पे। आज मैं ये चीज़ स्पेसिफिकली इंग्लिश में बोलूँगा, क्योंकि कुछ इंटरनेशनल पार्टिसिपेंट्स भी हैं। So we have reached to this level of in YTA, that today we have been able to, you know, today we have been able to address patients, parents, doctors, NGO people working across the globe, and we have been able to help everybody from each city, each village, each town, and trying to help and educate a lot of people. We thanks Dr. Swati Kanakia ma'am, who has been so supportive to grant her this time, precious time for us, and she's been so kind that we have been able to do this thing on this platform. So, firstly, it's for Payal Wadhwa, and we all pray that wherever she is today, she is happy, she is peaceful, and from wherever she is seeing us today doing this thing, she is delighted for this moment. And secondly, I give it to ma'am. It's her podium now. Please, ma'am, take it over. All yours. Ma'am, one more thing. I request one more thing from everybody. Kindly do not unmute yourself. Firstly, you won't be, but still don't unmute yourself. Secondly, we have seen last time some people were doing some mischievousness on man's presentation by drawing it. So please don't do that. We request you. We know all are mature and sensible people out here, and you won't be doing it. So I request once again, kindly don't do any of such thing. And if somebody is found doing it, we will be forced to remove that person from the webinar on the same time. All right. Thank you very much. Ma'am, over to you.
Thank you, Pankaj. It is indeed an honor that I'm able to address so many children and families and parents with thalassemia today. When you talked about Payal, last time also we spoke about her, and sisters were just delightful, extremely happy and smiling all the time. So today I feel, what should I say? I feel privileged to be a part of this very, very good movement on your part to fight and to stop thalassemia. So thank you very much for inviting me. Today is also World Blood Donors Day, and I think truly people who donate blood are very very let us say very brave, and they are like heroes because they are saving a life directly, and not just one life but 3 lives, because we are able to make components from blood and use it for different people. So definitely it's a day that we have to celebrate. Today, I have to, as Pankaj and I had discussed, that we will divide the talk into 2 parts. The first half of it, we will just finish with the talk. And then in the second half, we will take all the questions and we will try whatever that we cannot answer will be answered by me, like I did in the last thing, last seminar. So today's topic is chelation in thalassemia, and every one of y'all who's attending this topic today has personally much more experience on chelation than I have. So maybe there will be some questions that you will be able to tell me कि no मैम ऐसे नहीं होता है, हम लोगों को ही ऐसे होता है. So y'all will perhaps be in a better position to tell me what's happening. But let me tell you from the doctor's perspective. Okay. So we all know that iron intake is equal to the iron loss. बॉडी के पास कोई मैकेनिज्म नहीं है कि वो एक्स्ट्रा आयरन निकाल सके. सो जितना इनटेक है उतना ही लॉस है. थैलेसीमिया मेजर के बच्चों में ब्लड ट्रांसफ्यूजन्स, लाइक you take blood transfusions every 15 days, 21 days or a month. PRBC will roughly give you around 200 milligrams of iron. This will depend upon the hematocrit, like how much blood is there in the unit. Okay, so please remember this was one of the questions which I had read. So 1 unit of PRBC will give you roughly 200 milligrams of iron. In thalassemia intermedia, it is absorption from the GI tract, from the duodenum of iron, which causes an increase in the iron intake, and this all results in iron overload. Okay, so very simple. You have only a limited amount of way by which you can remove the iron. Whatever extra iron you put in is just accumulated in the body. Now, this iron overload I have shown with the help of these squares, the pink colored squares. All the iron that is there is bound to transferrin. Transferrin is the star-shaped thing. So it gets bound with iron. Now, उसके बाद भी जो iron बचा रहता है, जो free iron रहता है, उसको non-transferrin bound iron बोलते हैं. And it is this non-transferrin bound iron which is a big problem. Okay, so we will show non-transferrin bound iron in this way. All this non-transferrin bound iron then makes its way. Let me just close my window so that you can see the right hand screen properly. 1 minute. Huh? Can you see the brain? Can you see the brain? All right. 1 second. Let me just try. Sorry.
Yeah.
So we said that it causes iron overload. Most of it is bound to transferrin, the star-shaped thing, but the extra is called as the non-transferrin bound iron, which is like this. And this then easily goes and deposits itself to different organs in the body, the brain, the liver, okay, the heart, the pancreas, and the thyroid and parathyroid, and also in the ovaries and in the testes. Okay. Now all this iron deposition leads to complications. Okay. Now you'll remember when you all were in school, you all would have an experiment with a magnet कि आयन लोहे की चीजें रहती थी तो मैग्नेट उसको अट्रैक्ट करके खींच के लेता था, बराबर है? Similarly, to remove all this extra iron, we need something like a magnet. And this magnet is chelation. The therapy or the medicines that will remove all the extra iron is chelation. Okay? So iron from the brain, from the liver, from the heart, from the pancreas, as well as from the thyroid and the parathyroid will all be removed by chelation. What are the chelators that we have? We have desferal, mainly three: desferal, kelfer, deferasirox. And in the deferasirox, there are two types. One is the dispersible tablet and one is a film coated tablet or Olectis. All right, these are what you all know. What you have to remember is this non-transferrin bound ion. That is the main culprit, or that is the main enemy जो है जिससे बड़े problems होते हैं, ये है non-transferrin bound ion. Okay, any questions? Can I go further?
We'll go further. We'll take the questions in the second section only.
Okay. So let's quickly review the whatever medicines that we have. One is desferal. This has been the oldest drug that we know. Okay. Its route of administration सबको पता है कि हमें इंजेक्शन लेने पड़ते हैं. एक क्वेश्चन था कि कितना डोज होता है डेस्फेराल वगैरह सारे किलेटर्स का. तो ये जो टेबल है उसमें सारे आपको दिखेंगे. यूजुअल डोज है 20 to 60 milligram per kg per day, and in conditions when there is cardiac overload तो 100 milligram पर तक जा सकते हैं. एक्सक्रीशन यानी कैसे ये दवाई निकलती है, ये यूरिन के द्वारा निकलती है. तो कई लोगों को बहुत सालों पहले हम लोग टेस्ट करते थे कि यूरिन में आयन कितना निकलता है, और इज देयर अ वे टू मेजर आयन ओवरलोड बाय डूइंग यूरिन. तो बंद किया है.
मैम आपका नेटवर्क बीच में थोड़ा कट रहा है.
जैसे
मैम आपका
कट हो रहा है,
बीच में कट रहा है. हाँ
हाँ,
ओके.
वो
One minute.
रोबोटिक वॉइस आता है.
Oh, I'll just try with hotspot. Wait a minute, huh? Just hold on. Just 1 minute. Is this better?
Yeah, it's better.
Yeah.
And ma'am, we'll try keeping mix English and Hindi. There are some international guests also what we have.
Okay.
They are doctors in this.
Fine.
Thank you.
So, just tell me once again, if there is a problem with the network, I'll have to stop the screen sharing and then do again.
Okay, I'll let you know.
But now it's fine. हाँ, but now it's fine. हाँ ma'am, can we go ahead?
So the side effects of desferal are mainly hearing problems. There are some eye problems, and all of you all know better than any doctor who is attending this seminar the reactions at the site. यानी जब स्टमक में, थाइस पे वगैरह जब इंजेक्शन लेते हैं तो उधर काफी सूजन हो जाती है, गांठ हो जाती है, कभी इन्फेक्शन हो जाता है. तो these are the problems, local reactions at the site. Also, there is sometimes delay in bone growth, especially if you're giving too much of desferal. And there are two infections which are extremely important in patients with iron overload, especially with desferal, that is Yersinia infection and Klebsiella infection. So these are the two infections which can be life-threatening. The advantage is कि हम लोगों को बहुत सालों का we have a very long-standing experience of this drug, and जो भी whatever we measure now, that desferal हो, अरे deferasirox हो गया या फिर kelfer हो गया, it is always in relation to Desferal. The biggest problem is that children don't like it naturally, because रोज रात को इंजेक्शन लेना है, ये एक्चुअली बच्चों का खेल नहीं है, ना ही कोई एडल्ट का खेल है. So this was one of the biggest problems of Desferal. We cannot give it by the mouth because it is not effective. So we have to give it by injection. And this has been licensed for use, and we've used it for the longest time. So it is a very good drug. It is a very effective drug. The next drug is Kelfor. Kelfor, why I'm calling it by the trade name is that this was something which everyone knows it very well. It used to be called as L1 or Kelfor. The trade name is Diferipron. I mean, the original name is Diferipron. This was really very revolutionary because I have seen the introduction of Diferipron. What happened was everyone could not afford Desferal injections. Some people had such bad reactions. The pump was expensive. Pump was available only from 2 companies. So वो बहुत सारे problems थे, and a lot of children were not taking any chelation. When this drug came, it was such a good relief for everyone, and it made chelation much easier for people, for children all over. So this was a very revolutionary product. The biggest thing being that network problem. 1 minute. Pankaj, just give me 2 minutes. I'll log off and I'll start with hotspot. Hold on.
Okay.
Just give me 2 minutes.
Ma'am, it's going good right now. Right now it's going good. You can continue.
There is a problem today, huh?
In between it
So,
comes.
yeah, let me know. I can then wait and perhaps start again.
Okay.
Okay. So this was the best thing that happened to our thalassemia children. Okay. So biggest advantage, it was oral. The dose is 50 to 75 to 100 milligram per kg. It is a smaller molecule than Desferal, and I'll tell you what is the advantage of this drug. The biggest problem of this drug is that patients have nausea, they have vomiting, they have abdominal pain, they sometimes have diarrhea with Kelfor. So this is a very problematic side effect. The other one is neutropenia. That means the WBC count becomes very low. And when this happens, the children get oral ulcers, and because there is no WBC or less WBCs to fight infections, that means the neutrophil count goes low and there isn't enough of neutrophils to fight the infection. These children get severe infections which might be life-threatening. So neutropenia, or as we call it, agranulocytosis, is a very big problem. The other problem was arthralgia. Arthralgia यानी joint pains. तभी काफी सालों पहले हम देखते थे कि बहुत सूजन हो जाती थी joints में, to the point that children were wheelchair bound. यानी पता नहीं चलता था कि it was so severe. So we've seen all this. We've gone through the learning curve of seeing all these complications. Now what we do is, जब भी arthralgia होता है तो हम लोग दवाई कम कर देते हैं, बंद कर देते हैं. थोड़ा रिजॉल्व होने के बाद हम लोग कम मात्रा में, कम डोज में शुरू करते हैं. So these are the problems of the side effects of Kelfor. We have very good idea कि what are the side effects, and it has been there for a long time. तो अभी हमें पता है कि क्या, what are the side effects, what are the advantages, what are the disadvantages. So it is a very good drug. There is no problem with it now. However, as we still say, there are problems, and human nature is such कि हम लोगों को संतोष नहीं होता है, and we always try कि ये प्रॉब्लम है तो हमें इसको इम्प्रूव करना है, वो प्रॉब्लम है तो हमें उसको सॉल्व करनी है, और उसके लिए we've got even a newer drug, and that drug is Deferasirox. D-ferracirox is available in the market with various brand names. Okay, Asunra was the main one. Exjade abroad, and Asunra is the first one. It was Novartis it was their molecule, and they kind of it was their study molecule. All right. उसके बाद काफी सारे अलग अलग ड्रग्स निकले हैं, अलग कंपनीज के निकले हैं. वन क्वेश्चन वाज के can we interchange? See, the basic parent drug is the same. So although we do not like to interchange, I would be very confident in saying yes, go ahead and interchange. अगर आपको नहीं मिलता है, आपको कॉस्टली पड़ता है, कुछ भी है, तो आप इंटरचेंज कर सकते हैं, क्योंकि बेसिक पेरेंट ड्रग इज गोइंग टू बी द सेम. ठीक है. Just 1 minute. Okay. Now this is the third drug that we have. It is an oral drug. Okay. The dose is 20 to 40 milligram per kg. Now just look at when you are taking Desferal or you are taking Diferiprone, the urine becomes red because the iron is coming out from the urine. Whereas when you are taking D-ferracirox, that does not happen because all the iron is coming out in the stools. So one of my the initial questions from my patients were कि अरे ये काम नहीं करता है, यूरिन रेड नहीं होता है, तो कैसे काम करता है? The reason is that it's not becoming red because it is going out in the stools, in the feces. That is why it is not becoming red. What is the biggest problem? Again, gastrointestinal problems, diarrhea, vomiting, some amount of nausea, some amount of bleeding. The biggest problem that we face is kidney problems. We've had patients, not had patients, but after the last seminar, there was a child who actually contacted me for saying that the child is on, the child is taking dialysis, like he's on dialysis, because of the severe kidney problem, perhaps following D-ferracirox.
Ma'am, one thing, we are running with the time right now. So this session, to everybody, this session will get over in another 5 minutes. And I have already shared the link for the second session. Immediately, we will start with the second session on the second link. We request everybody to switch it over there. Okay? Thanks, ma'am.
So that is our biggest problem. And the problem with the liver enzymes, which is also one of the problems. Advantage is that it is a single daily dose. You do not have to take it 3 times a day like you have to take Kelfa. So that is the biggest advantage of this particular drug. We allow the liver enzymes to go up to 3 to 4 times, sometimes even 5 times the normal level when you are taking D-ferracirox. But be very, very careful about the serum creatinine. Okay, so we have 3 drugs. They can be used as single, like Desferal alone, D-feriprone alone, D-ferracirox alone, or they can be taken in combinations. Now, combination therapy is a very, very good thing, especially when you are doing Desferal with D-feriprone. Okay, and there have been examples of taking all 3 drugs as well. And how do you know which combinations to take? That will depend upon. So it's like a Rubik's Cube. You keep kind of juggling based upon certain tests. And these are the tests that you have to do. 1 minute. I'll just go to the next slide so that I try and finish this session. So this is how we monitor iron overload. One is by serum ferritin. One is by the use of MRI. MRI, we can see iron overload in the liver, which will measure LIC or liver iron content. We do the MRI for the heart, which is called T2 star. Okay, usme that is measured in milliseconds, ms. All right. So these are the 2 organs. Also, MRI can pick up iron in the pituitary, in the thyroid, in the parathyroid. It can pick up in the pancreas. It can pick up even in the kidney. Okay, it can pick up in ovaries. It can pick it up anywhere. So MRI, very good way of picking up iron overload. Liver biopsy and urinary iron excretion. Liver biopsy, none of us want to do liver biopsies, not even the patients and not even the doctors. So I'm very happy and helpful that this is not happening anymore. And urinary iron excretion, as I told you, is not a very good, not a very accurate way of measuring iron. The other iron that I told you, you remember the non-transferrin bound iron? Nowadays, there are methods of picking up non-transferrin bound iron by something called as LPI. Okay, so that is the labile pool iron. So this, I think, is the most important part of the whole presentation. This is how combination therapy works, because if the link gets over, then, you know, before we shift over, let me see if I can show you this. So in combination chemotherapy, you have two drugs, desferal and deferriprone. That is what we are going to take as an example. On the right hand side, you can see ferritin, which is present inside the cell. So deferriprone goes in. I told you all the free iron is the one which causes a problem. It's a small molecule, deferriprone. So it binds, it picks up the deferriprone. The deferriprone picks up the iron, and it goes out again into the outside the cell, and from there desferal picks it up. Okay, so it is two things which are helping you, one from the plasma outside and one from within the cell. Okay, just 1 minute. So this, I think, is very, very important for all the patients and the families and the parents, that today's talk was meant for you to understand the importance of chelation, the importance of cooperation with one another with the help of YTA, the importance of compliance. Compliance means that doctor will prescribe and give it to you, but when you go home, you are the ones who have to take the medicine. The doctor or the nurse cannot come to your house and take the medicine for you. So compliance is the biggest thing as far as your long and healthy life is concerned. And all the problems arise only from iron overload in thalassemia. Please trust me. And if that iron is removed, I think a lot of your battle, a whole lot of your war is won. So this is the end of my presentation, as in the presentation, and we can now take whatever questions that we have.
So we have 3.5 minutes over here, so we can take. Ma'am, you have the question thing paper that with you, right?
I'll just have to
In
open
chat box, in chat box, some questions are there.
So, in chat box some questions are there. So let's take the chat box.
One girl is asking, do chelation drugs affect fertility in female?
The chelation drugs don't affect, but the iron overload causes the fertility problems. So the iron overload will affect the pituitary. The pituitary will stop secreting the main hormones, and it will cause hypogonadotropic hypogonadism. That means the problem is the iron overload. So be careful. Even one, you have to be so careful about your daily iron chelation. You cannot afford to miss even one day.
Okay.
Okay. Next
Can you
question.
read the other?
Yeah. Also related to fertility. One is asking the treatment in case of cardiac ferritin overload and ovaries or testes ferritin overload.
Okay. So this cardiac overload, I'll take it in the next part because it is a longer, it's a longer answer. But whatever at least as far as the gonads are concerned, combination is the best way forward. Okay, so combination of Desferal with Kelfer seems to be the best way to kind of manage overload, iron overload in the gonads, or any other combination also, but this has been the best one so far.
And a very basic question are many people are asking, which chelator is the best for the liver iron? Because many of patients are seeing the liver iron is the more into their MRI reports.
So there are three drugs that we have. Desferal is very good for liver iron. Deferasirox, okay, Deferasirox is also very good for liver iron. It is good for heart iron as well. But the best for liver iron would still remain a combination of Desferal with Deferiprone, and for the heart iron, the best one is Deferiprone, the best one that we have.
Ma'am, let's get connected to the next session. It's done already. It's going to kick us out.
Okay, great.
So
Okay.
we are starting with the next session on the next link. Okay, thank you.
No, Desferal is not helpful in decreasing splenic size. Spleen size will go down with giving blood and suppressing the patient's own erythropoiesis, means the patient's own red cell production.
Okay. And some are 2-3 patients are asking for the diet for the can reduce the iron from the body.
So they say that we should take diet which is less in iron. Okay. They also say that black tea that should be had with food will the tannins in the black tea will prevent absorption of iron from the GI tract. So that is one more way of decreasing the absorption of iron. But diet by itself is a huge chunk, a separate topic by itself. But yeah, definitely you should try it. But I'll tell you something, the amount of iron that you are getting from the blood is a lot. So of course you avoid eating other things which are very high in iron content, but it's not such a big thing. Of course it is there, but what I'm trying to say is that the main contributor is of course the blood as well as the diet. So try eating less iron in the diet.
Okay. And many patients are not allowed to take Calfer. So like the pain, leg pains and all, they have complications. So what they can do if their iron, heart iron is more?
See, Deferasirox is the other very good drug. So in those patients who have a problem with Kelfer, okay, what they could also do is, if they have arthralgia, means leg pains and all, they can take a combined therapy with Desferal and Kelfer, so that the dose of Kelfer becomes a little less and there is some Desferal as well. So perhaps the side effects will go down. Or they can take Deferasirox, which is also a very good drug for cardiac iron overload. But the best that we know so far is Desferal with Kelfer.
Okay. One second. And more questions are there. 1 second. Vidhi? Some are facing the severe nauseatic with the Calfer. I think many 2-3 patients are asking this. So is there any side effects like nauseatic with the Calfer?
Yeah. Some of the patients do have this nausea, they have vomiting, and Kelfer has to be taken in 3 divided doses. You cannot take all your Kelfer together. So maybe you can try doing that it is a problem. There is no doubt about it. You can take it with some antacids perhaps, but that is also not advisable. So it is true. It is true. It is a problem. Yeah. And in fact, some patients have to discontinue therapy because of this problem.
Okay.
Ma'am, there is one question. Can IV Desferal taken during BT as an additional chelation?
IV Desferal once while you are taking blood transfusion is really pointless. What is the importance of Desferal is that it is taking out your iron throughout the day, throughout the night. I mean, throughout the day and night, I mean, over a prolonged time, over 8-10 hours. You cannot, if you take it once in 21 days, it's not of much use.
Thank you, ma'am. And next question is, what to do when Desferal creates lumps in my stomach where I prick even if I take 4 vials in a 15 ml water?
So there are these problems. So maybe there are a couple of practical things. I don't know. Y'all can just try it out. One is rotation of the site. Okay. So you keep changing the sides. You go around the stomach on the right thigh, left thigh, and then come back to the stomach. So maybe that is one way of doing it. That is rotation of the sides. Second thing is we used to give some amount of hydrocortisone in the injection to decrease these hypersensitivity reactions. But well, it's not very easy to do all that. The other thing is maintaining complete asepsis. So make sure that there is no infection that you accidentally introduce. You are taking it in 15 ml of normal saline. Maybe you could take it a little more. It doesn't matter. So maybe you can try that. Maybe you can split 2 injections and take it. So instead of putting 4 in 1 injection, you can split the injections and take. So it will go over 20 ml. Let us put it that way. So don't put all 4 in 1. You can split it. Allow it to go slowly.
मैम आइस पैक लगाने से भी कुछ फर्क पड़ सकता है या जो इंजेक्शन लगाने का जो तरीका है
Yes.
उससे जो लम्प्स हैं वो इजीली निकल सकते हैं या पेन रिड्यूस हो सकता है?
So ice packs may be helpful, and injection ka tarika, of course, we have to, but I'm sure these patients are taking it for a long time. But they can talk to their doctors and see if there is some technique or some technical issue that they are facing. But these are patients who have taken it for so long. So suddenly, for them, if it's a new patient, I can understand that they have just learned and they don't know how to use it. But these are the 3-4 points that I can pick.
After Desferal, ice pack could be one good thing. Desferal निकालने के बाद जो है ice pack का एक बार सेक कर लिया जाए.
Okay, that helps. Does that work?
For me, it used to work. मतलब मैं खुद करता था तो मुझे पता है कि हाँ वो पेन मेरा रिड्यूस कर देता था, लम्प्स डिसॉल्व कर देता था. तो हीटनेस जो होती थी निकालने के बाद कई बार मेडिसिन वहाँ जम जाता है तो हीट होता था, तो वो चीजों को कम कर देता था आइस पैक. तो
अच्छा.
बट या आई एम आस्किंग एज बाकी लोगों को, आई डोंट नो.
Yeah. Continue with Pankaj question, ma'am. There are some patients asking, is a heparin gel or some kind of gel can we apply on that lung? So,
you can apply any local medicine is not a problem by me. You can try that. But I'm not. So you're saying like a thrombophobe. You can try it, but I doubt that it will help because it's mainly because of a hypersensitivity stroke allergy type of thing. I see in the chat box they are saying that ice pack really works well.
Okay, that's fine. So next question, Sangeeta.
Yeah. Is there any specific time to taking chelators? like after food, with food, empty stomach, because any are asking कि Calfer को खाना खाने के बाद लेना है, साथ में लेना है. So is there any specific guideline?
So it's very, suppose if Desferal is out, so now we have only two, Calfer and D-Ferracirox, out of which D-Ferracirox, you know that you have to take on an empty stomach. Okay, so that will definitely help you to, I mean, only then will the absorption happen. You know that when you take D-Ferracirox, you have to use it in a glass ka glass, not a steel glass. Okay, otherwise the kaach ka glass. Otherwise the medicine will stick to that. You cannot use a steel ka spoon. Okay, you are supposed to use a plastic spoon. After dissolving everything, you're supposed to again put some water so that जो भी बाकी है वो भी उसमें घुल जाए and you drink it. So these are the problems of using D-Ferracirox. Now, this is exactly why they have come out with the new one, that is the Oleptis, or the film-coated D-Ferracirox, let us call it, FCT as they call it. That you can have it with a light meal. Okay, that is one thing. You don't need to, it's not a dispersible tablet, so you don't need to put it in water and then, kind of mix it and then drink it. So you can just take it as a tablet. There are some preparations which are abroad, which are available as a sprinkle. It can be sprinkled on the food. It's Gelano, and it can be eaten. So these are some of. So there are definitely these timelines. Can I?
And Angela.
Yes. Ma'am, next question is, injection Desferal causes not lumps but rashes sometimes. So lumps and rashes.
So if it is hypersensitivity, then it can cause skin rashes. Sometimes there's discoloration of the skin. In fact, when there was a time when we used to look at the children's stomach to find out whether they are actually taking the injection or no. So we used to look out for those kind of marks, because they would say, हाँ लेते हैं, and only to realize कि नहीं, इधर तो marks ही नहीं है. So it is true, you will get reddish colored also, so you just have to be like, and you won't get it every day. You will get it with certain batches of Desferal. You will not get it with certain batches of Desferal. So there's a lot of variability, because being a chronic disease, वो पूरा time change होते रहता है. इतने questions आ रहे हैं, fast में पढ़ नहीं सकती हूँ.
We will try and do the maximum questions. जो हमारे रह जाएंगे, so we'll definitely take it on email. जैसे हमने पहले किया था.
Next question.
Manjula, your network is getting cracked. Sangeeta, can you check that?
Yeah. Then I'll ask. If some patient is suffering from the jaundice, so they can take any chelator.
Now see, what is the cause of the jaundice we have to know. The jaundice can be one because of hepatitis. It could be hepatitis B, hepatitis C, or any other virus affecting the liver. So first the doctor has to make sure what is the cause of the jaundice. The second one can be the jaundice is because of the severe iron overload. The SGOT, we've seen it going very high. So in that case, if it is because of the iron overload, then you have to take the chelator. But if it is because of some other reason, okay, or it is as a side effect of the chelator, like D-Ferracirox. D-Ferracirox by itself can cause SGOT-PT, which is very high, but it doesn't cause jaundice. So we have to just make sure what is the cause for the jaundice, and then take a call on continuing the
Okay.
The three reasons we know of. One is that the drug itself, the chelator by itself, one is hepatitis, and third is iron overload. These are three reasons why you would get liver problems. So first ascertain the cause, make sure कि क्या है, उसके बाद take a call on stopping or starting.
Okay. And Dr. Imran is asking one question. Do iron overload in HBE beta thal have relation in developing PAH? Hello?
Iron overload in HBE beta thal, that means
Yeah.
it is thalassemia intermedia. And he's seeing whether the iron overload has a problem with the pulmonary hypertension.
Pulmonary hypertension, yeah.
He's seeing pulmonary hypertension, right?
Yeah.
Just tell me the question. E beta thal is thal intermediate.
Pankaj, can you unmute to Dr. Imran so he can, I think, ask his question?
1 minute.
He's there?
Yeah, he's there. Dr. Imran, could you please hear
Yes.
us? Yeah, please ask your question.
Yeah. My question is about if any chance of developing pulmonary arterial hypertension in hemoglobin E beta thal cases due to iron overload.
See, basically, when you are saying
That's-
the E beta thal is a thalassemia intermedia, and whether iron overload is the cause of the pulmonary hypertension, is that your question?
Yes, due to this iron overload, if the circulation therapy is not satisfactory, if there is a excessive iron overload, does the patient have a chance of developing pulmonary arterial hypertension due to this iron overload?
Pulmonary hypertension is a known complication in all thalassemia intermedia. It is multifactorial. Okay. So,
Yes.
all
Yep.
thalassemia intermedias, the serum ferritin that we look at them is not 1000. Okay, so we kind of chelate them at a lower, like 800 is the cutoff for thalassemia intermedia according to the latest TIF guidelines. So
Okay.
we have to chelate them, all right. And the pulmonary hypertension develops due to a whole lot of other reasons as well. So we have to chelate them definitely. There is no doubt about it. If the
Okay.
ferritin is above 800 also, we have to chelate them. That is for thalassemia intermedia.
I see. Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Ma'am, one question out here that what is the role of vitamin C with the iron chelations and with the all different kind of the chelators what we have like deferol, desferol or calfer. So how is the role of vitamin C in this?
So vitamin C apparently helps in chelation with only desferal. It doesn't help. It has no, and that too anecdotal, means it's not necessary if you have to give it. We used to give it, but there are enough reports which say you may give it or you may not give it. As far as deferrasirox and deferriprone is concerned, there is no relation. If at all you want to take 100 milligram vitamin C with desferal, you can take it.
Up to 100 milligram with desferol.
100 milligram is the, yeah.
Okay, thank you.
And even if you take a little more, it कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता. It's not like a big deal.
मैम और एक चीज और आ रही है, काफी पेशेंट्स ने एक्चुअली वो जानना चाहा है कि असुनरा एंड ओलिप्टिस, सो वो जो दोनों का है, if somebody is taking असुनरा and somebody wants to switch it to ओलिप्टिस, तो वहां पे फेरिटिन लेवल या आयन में कोई फर्क पड़ेगा कि दे बोथ विल एक्ट सेम? क्या वो दोनों सेम ही काम करेंगे कि एक ज्यादा इफेक्टिव है, कम इफेक्टिव है, ऐसा कुछ है?
So basically, let's understand that Oleptis is Asunra only. There is no difference. Okay. As far as the drug is concerned, it is the same drug. It is deferrasirox. However, deferrasirox molecule is covered with a film. So it becomes FCT, film coated tablet. Whereas Asunra is DT, D is for dispersible tablet.
Okay.
Okay.
Perfect.
Now this Oleptis has basically the same effect. The only thing is that the patients take it, the compliance of the patient is much better. Patient compliance का मतलब क्या है कि they take the tablet regularly. Why? Because you don't have to do that dispersible tablet खोलने का problem. You don't have to be fasting. You don't have to be hungry, you know, before you take the tablet. वो सारा problems निकल जाता है.
Okay.
So that the compliance of the patient becomes better. And if the compliance becomes better, the serum ferritin or the iron load will do better. The other thing is that all these gastrointestinal problems, यानी जो nausea है, पेट में दुखना है, कभी डायरिया है, ये सब चीजें फिल्म कोटेड होने से कम हो जाते हैं. Patients take it better and therefore the result may be better. I mean, is better. That is the only reason. It is not that it is a different drug.
Sangeeta?
And the dose what you have to see is that it is 30% lesser. यानी अगर असुनरा का for example है 100 mg तो इसका 70 mg ही होता है. So it is lesser. That calculation the doctor will do. However, जो kidney के problems हैं, the kidney problems are more, they seem to be more with Oleptis. They seem to be more.
With Oleptis, the kidney issues have been seen more.
Perhaps. So we just
Okay.
have to be very careful when you are taking it. It's very difficult.
Okay.
Ma'am, there is one question. If serum ferritin is less than 500, should we stop chelation?
Yes. But I'll tell you one more thing before I say yes to that. Supposing you have seen sometimes the ferritin levels to be, there are two things. They can be very high, serum ferritin, but your liver iron and your heart iron may not be that much, because ferritin is also something what we call as an acute phase reactant. So that is one thing. Acha, if it is very low, I'm not sure, because when it's low, we never look at the other organ damage that has happened. But if it is low, we still should look at the MRI as well for liver and iron, liver and cardiac iron, because we don't want to be caught unawares कि भाई ferritin बहुत low है और heart और iron में still it is high enough for chelation. So when you talk of serum ferritin, don't look at it alone. Please do an MRI, because it is a very good way of picking up iron overload in other areas of the body as well. Acha, there is no correlation between liver iron and heart iron. ऐसा नहीं है कि liver iron बहुत कम है तो heart में नहीं है. It's not like that. Even if the liver iron is low, heart iron may be more. So all these different combinations exist, and therefore what we are calling it now is tailor-making therapy. जैसे कि आप पैंटलून्स में आप जाएंगे तो 3 साइजेस ही मिलते हैं, स्मॉल, मीडियम एंड लार्ज. बट आप अगर आपके टेलर के पास जाएंगे तो he will exactly measure the amount of inches or amount of centimeters and make a dress that fits your size. Therefore, when we say tailor-making chelation therapy, we mean that we have to find out कि भाई ferritin इतना है, liver iron, cardiac iron, pituitary, pancreas, kidney iron, हर एक बाजू कितना है, और वो हिसाब से हमें ये जो 3 chelators हैं अपने पास, उनमें से we have to kind of play our game and decide कि हाँ चलो ये combination इनको जाएगा तो अच्छा हो सकता है, ये कॉम्बिनेशन इनको जाएगा तो ये अच्छा हो सकता है. जो मेरे लिए chelation है is not necessarily, even at the same ferritin level, is not necessarily the same for you. Okay.
नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन है कि स्किन से आयन कैसे रिमूव, मतलब which is best chelation
Ma'am, I'll repeat that.
Yeah.
The question that people have got a skin iron, that their hash is kind of a signs and some moles and all. So how to remove those things?
That will go with, it'll go very slowly with chelation. ऐसा कोई गोरेपन का क्रीम नहीं है उसके लिए, वो धीरे 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 निकलेगा. As you do the chelation, as from the rest of the body, so from the skin.
Okay. Sangeeta,
Yeah,
ask next question.
Manchula's network is poor, no?
Hmm.
Renal stone through the Desperos powder from the after taking chelation is getting renal stone every time. मतलब some patient है उनको renal stone का issue हो रहा है, तो उनको ये जानना है कि मैं जो iron chelation ले रहा हूँ मतलब असुनरा या डेसीरॉक्स, तो उससे stone होते हैं, तो क्या ये सही है, और अगर होते हैं तो क्यों होते हैं?
See, the problem with Asunra and the kidney is a very different kind of problem. It is not a problem of stones. It's a nephropathy. It's a different kind of problem. So if you're getting stones, then you have to find out the cause for the stones. But it is not because that you are taking too much Asunra and therefore. But nephropathy, that means kidney problems, kidney function problems in the form of creatinine. That is a problem with Asunra.
Okay.
मैम वन मोर क्वेश्चन इज ओवर हियर. इट इज लाइक जो हम अभी बात कर रहे थे थोड़ी देर पहले ऑलिव टिप्स की किडनी के ऊपर इफेक्ट की.
So
there,
what
there are chances and all. So if the question is, what should I monitor if my kidney is fine when on Olympus? Then will KFT work?
So what will work? Kelfor,
KFT,
kidney function test.
yes.
No, so for that they have to look at creatinine. They like the doctor will have to monitor creatinine. They will have to monitor GFR, glomerular filtration rate, and they will have to look at in the urine analysis. They will have to look at the albumin urea. So these are three things that they will look at. The doctor will look at that. So these are three parameters. KFT, correct, it is a part of it, but in the KFT, there are these 3-4 things which the doctor should look at.
Okay. And what is the ideal method of serum test, ferritin test? Should be done into empty stomach or should be a fasting? Iron chelation का जो हम लोग टेस्ट करते हैं, जिसे serum ferritin करते हैं, वो खाली पेट करना है टेस्ट या कोई भी टाइम पे हम करवा सकते हैं, और उसका आइडियल मेथड कौन सा होना चाहिए?
So it's preferable to do it on a fasting stomach because it is a serum test and it is an ELISA based test. So if this color of the serum, because of the food that you eat and the fat in it, so we prefer that serum test should be done on empty stomach, and the ELISA technique is a good one.
Okay. And if the patient is suffering for osteoporosis or osteopenia, so the chelation is harmful for them because किसी किसी को ऐसे लगता है हम ज्यादा chelation लेते हैं तो कैल्शियम कम हो जाता है बॉडी से, तो हमें ज्यादा प्रॉब्लम्स होते हैं. और काफी लोग ऐसे पूछते हैं कि हमने कोई chelation लिया तो मल्टीविटामिन साथ में लेना है क्या, जिंक लेना है क्या, और सप्लीमेंट्स लेने हैं क्या, तो कोई भी chelation के साथ हमें ऐसे कोई मेडिसिन लेने चाहिए क्या?
Okay. So see, जैसे कि chelation will remove iron, it might remove zinc. Okay, so zinc supplements are something that a lot of people prescribe and a lot of people take by themselves. So that is one thing. As regards your question on osteoporosis, osteopenia, and chelation. So the reason for the osteoporosis, osteopenia are very different. So let us look at the different causes. One is your calcium homeostasis because of the thyroid. 1 minute. Because of your the parathyroid hormone.
Okay, ma'am,
The
we have last 10 minutes with us, and we'll be getting over. So whatever questions we are taking right now, we'll do it. Remaining of the questions, जिन जिन्होंने चैट बॉक्स में क्वेश्चंस भेजे हैं वो बाद में आप मंजुला या दिलीप को क्वेश्चंस भेज सकते हो. We'll try and address them through an email. It will take a week's time or 10 days time, but we'll get the maximum answers to you. Okay. So yeah, we'll continue. We have 10 minutes. We will end up in 8 minutes. We have some announcements to make at line.
okay.
Please.
Ma'am, please
You
continue.
tell me when to talk. So I'll continue.
Okay.
Okay.
Break.
So the reason it could be many. The other reason is that testosterone. I mean the other hormones which are released. So your pituitary problem. Okay. Yeah. So there are other pituitary problems as well. So again, we have to decide what is the reason for the osteopenia. You need to see an endocrinologist. You need to do a bone densitometry, see an endocrinologist, and you should continue your chelation, because if the chelation is not there, in that case, there will be more iron overload and there will be further problems. So you have to decide, I mean, you have to continue with the chelation.
Okay. 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 And should I ask the question, Pankaj?
Please.
Hello. या
please.
एंड जो सुनरा है या सुनरा है या डिफ्राजिट है या डेसीरॉक्स है, उससे ना काफी लोगों को जीआई इश्यूज होते हैं, जैसे गैस्ट्रिक इश्यूज है, मोशंस ज्यादा आता है, जैसे खाने या नाश्ते के बाद तुरंत आता है, और तो वो मतलब आइडियली स्प्लिट डोज में लेना चाहिए, उससे जीआई इशू कम होंगे, या उसको हम लोग एक साथ एम्प्टी स्टमक मॉर्निंग में ले सकते हैं, और अगर जीआई इश्यूज कम करने हैं तो क्या कर सकते हैं?
So see, this is the exact reason why Oleptis was developed. You understand? Sorry, problems. So what we do practically is try and divide it into 2 doses. I don't know whether it makes any difference. The patients who use it, they really, poor things, they get into trouble irrespective के सब 2 time divide करके लेते हैं या single time लेते हैं, same problems होते हैं. So but you can try, like one can always try. That is, some people prescribe, we should not be prescribing antacids actually with all these drugs.
Yeah,
so
true.
That's why we are not giving it. You can't give it with food also. You can't give it with anything like that. So it is a problem. So the only practically that we can think is split it into 2 and see whether it works or it doesn't. For one person, it might work. Same dose, huh? Don't take double dose. The same dose you divide into 2.
Okay.
There is one question. स्प्लिट डोज सिस्टम जो है वो कितना इफेक्टिव है अगर हम स्प्लिट डोज लेते हैं तो?
See, that's what I'm saying. I don't know. Like we don't have any trial to say कि हाँ अगर ये इतना ही आसान होता तो आगे का फिर ड्रग ढूंढते नहीं थे. तो कोई लोगों को ज्यादा प्रॉब्लम्स होते हैं, कोई लोग हैं जो कोई प्रॉब्लम्स नहीं होते हैं. So
I tried with this. Yeah, I tried with the whole and also with the split dose, but my GI issues is there still. So I switch over to FCT now because I tried a lot, but GI issues are increasing only.
That's what I'm saying. That there is nothing that we can do about it. You can try. If it works for you, very well. And if it doesn't, then as you said, you have to go to FCT.
Yeah.
By the way, does the Thalassemia Society or someone help you with the FCT?
Yeah. No, helping with the financial, not see, because Defragit, no, Sun Pharma company is also launched the FCT now, so it is very cheap compared to the Oleptis. So now many patients are taking that as well, and the effect is actually similar because 2 or 3 of my friends are starting, but the only thing they are actually facing the creatine issues. The urea creatine is increased or decreased, so that's why the main concern is.
So, now they are looking at further drugs, iron chelators only, where the kidney problems are not there.
Yeah.
So that is going to be the new thing that will come out soon. And as I always say that, like, why is the cause of all this is because of transfusion, correct? Iron overload is because of transfusion.
True.
Now, supposing you decrease the transfusion, that is the best thing that can happen.
Yeah.
So that is why they are
That's
now
why they are
looking at
waiting
drugs
for the
that will
drugs.
decrease
Yeah.
the transfusion, for example.
Yeah.
So
True.
these things
True.
will keep.
No, ma'am.
Network issue.
Hold on, Shri.
Freeze.
Ma'am will be back. Ma'am, your network.
You have to take the drug. Oh,
You were actually. Okay.
Mute.
Could you please repeat that?
so
Yeah,
what I
please.
said was that it is in the hands of the patient's
Hmm.
compliance. I can write the medicine. I cannot take it for you. And if you do not take it, trust me, you will get into trouble. So you have to take the responsibility of your health. Is all I
Yeah,
can say, because all of y'all are big kids now. Y'all are
Yeah.
not small anymore.
True. That's true.
So, ma'am, you know what we have done for all the grown-up kids and all the small kids in our YTA. We have very funny thing to do, and somehow it do work. We ask all our YTA members in our WhatsApp group to raise their finger if they have taken their chelation for today as an attendance. So some of do actually being very supportively they take. We have one person, Dr. Ravi Dhanani,
Ravi Dhanani.
who is
Yes.
who is so punctual that he will be the first person of the day to show that finger. Yes, and that actually motivates a lot. And we have Ravi Dhanani also with us. Ravi bhai, you can wave for everyone so that everyone can see you. You are the one motivator that he makes sure
Thank
that
you.
he points out, I have taken my chelation, and there are many other people. This has actually
Yeah.
worked with a lot of patients to get a reminder to do it. So with this, we will end our question answer round. We have covered lot many questions from the list what we had, and since we have to close down, it's only 2 minutes left with us. So I'll go little quick. One thing, thank you very much, ma'am. Secondly, we will be coming back soon with another web session with Dr. Swati Kanakya, ma'am. And this time we are planning to keep it on blood transfusion. Dates, time slots will be soon revealed to everybody. Okay, and we are looking forward that we have a maximum number of people with us. Today also we touched almost 90 in between, which was a very good figure. We are looking for more houseful things. I would give it to Jatin right now, and I'll ask Jatin to, end with our session. And I request every member over here to please make sure that you are taking your chelations on time, properly, as advised by doctor. Please don't do anything on your own, becoming your own health expert and doctor, or because just because your friend is doing that, so हम भी वो करके देखते हैं उसको फायदा हुआ. As ma'am said, it may work on somebody, it may not work on somebody. So
True.
we'll look very healthy people in the coming time and do this. Jatin, over to you.
Yeah, thank you, ma'am. It was honor and pleasure to work with you. We would like to have more sessions with you. And one announcement from YTA: those who are interested to join YTA group as volunteers and WhatsApp us, mail us, and we will add you to volunteer group. So we'll have more work on all India basis on thalassemia. Thank you.